Hermvids with Mr. Hermit. Educational videos about reading and writing. Whatever happened in Creative Writing 1? Let's find out. This video is going to go back in time to tell you what happened in Creative Writing 1. It's a review of an entire course, so it's obviously going to leave some stuff out, but it's going to serve as a nice introduction to Creative Writing 2. Creative Writing 1 was all about writer's voice. No, not NBC's The Voice with Shakira. Writer's voice is the unique way an author represents themselves through the choices they make in their writing. It's that voice you hear in your brain as you read someone's poem, someone's novel, someone's story. They make a lot of choices when they write, and they do so for specific reasons. So we learned all about this in Creative Writing 1. Here are some skills that authors use to fine-tune their writer's voice. Great authors have become experts on how to use these skills, and yes, writing is hard, but these skills can be used for you to more clearly represent yourself as who you are through your writing. So there's diction, which is your word choice, the specific words that you choose to use. There's your use of details, the specific information you choose to share. Figurative language is something that is a hallmark of good writing. It's non-literal language like similes, metaphors, hyperboles, personification. They use imagery. That's the specific senses and the details associated with them. They arrange their writing in specific ways using syntax, including punctuation and how you build sentences. And then they play with tone, which is the attitude towards the audience and the piece. A combination of all these things makes writer's voice. You guys learned this in Creative Writing 1. Now the point of Creative Writing 1 was for you guys to understand that you can alter your use of these elements to represent your own writer's voice, your own unique perspective. Once you figure out how to use all those skills, just like Billy Shakespeare here, you can more accurately represent yourself. And we did that through studying master writers. So I took a piece of Edgar Allan Poe's short story, A Telltale Heart, because he has such a specific writer's voice. And we're going to real quickly look at the diction, detail, figurative language, syntax, and tone, so you have a better idea of exactly what I'm talking about. Now this is a little graphic, so if you've read Edgar Allan Poe before, you kind of understand what this is all about. Here it is. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs, and took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the board so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatsoever. I had been too wary for that. A tub had caught all. Ha ha! So this is from the point of view of a psychopath, because Poe loves writing from the point of view of psychopaths. And he picks really strong verbs to really communicate how this guy is feeling. Strong words like dismembered, deposited, waned. He also uses these words that are so advanced that even at the time that he was writing, nobody really used them, like scantlings. So his diction shows that this person's very intelligent, and they have very deliberate movements with their verbs. Now there's some pretty intense detail here, and it's pretty gruesome. The cutting of the heads and arms, that's pretty gruesome. There's 3 planks of flooring to show how specific and deliberate this psychopath's actions are. And the no stain of any kind really creates that visual as you're reading this horrific tale. He doesn't use any figurative language throughout this, and some authors choose not to use it at all. Some choose to use it constantly. It's totally up to you. It really represents who you are as a writer based on how much you want to use and what type, and for what purpose. He does use imagery, no blood spots, there's silence. It's a classic Poe line there. He always shrouds his stories in silence. His syntax is incredibly intricate. He uses dashes to keep his sentences going for punctuation. He uses exclamation points to show emotion. He's got these long sentences, and he often repeats so cleverly, so cunningly, the format of his sentences. No blood spot, no stain. So this creates this almost haunting repetition, and that's all part of syntax. Now for tone, we're going to go out to Google Docs here, and we're going to take a look at um, something called a tone list, which you're going to be using throughout the course. Now, tone is kind of a combination of all those things that we've just talked about, and what it does is it shows your mood towards what you're writing. So in the Creative Writing 2 Storytellers tab, there's a tone list. And what tone lists do are they give you some language to talk about what tone an author is using. Awestruck, biting, bored, complimentary, critical, cynical. Well, Poe, he's probably somewhere along the lines of ghoulish, as you can tell from all those pretty intense words he was using earlier. So, what we learned in Creative Writing 1 was that writers use these techniques to express who they are more clearly, and you're going to build off of that for Creative Writing 2.